Why bodies look different. Know better, do better. Look around your classroom. Chances are you won't see anyone who looks exactly like you, unless you're an identical twin. Did you ever wonder why you look the way you do? The biggest reason is called genetics. Genetics is the study of how genes and traits are passed down from one generation to the next. Our genes carry information that affects our health, our appearance, and even our personality. Looking at your biological parents will give you a fairly good idea of how tall or how short you will be. It will also give you an idea about whether you will be on the slender or larger size in terms of bone structure or weight. There are other factors that come into play as well, such as nutrition and things that can happen to people before they are born and even after they're born. Sometimes because of parental genetics, a mutated gene, or an illness or disorder that occurs, we can see variations in how bodies look and how they work. Take height, for instance. There are many people in the world who are shorter than average. We use the term little people when referring to our friends whose growth was impacted by a genetic difference. Chances are they will be no taller than 4 feet when they are adults. But make no mistake, if a little person is your age, that means they think the same kind of thoughts that you do. Their size is only that, their size, and size should not determine how people are treated. There are also people in the world who are much taller than average. This can be caused by a difference called gigantism, but it's very rare. Gigantism occurs when there is excessive secretion of the growth hormone from the pituitary gland. It happens in children before their normal growth has stopped. This results in overgrowth of the long bones. People with gigantism can grow to be 8 feet tall or bigger. But most of the time, differences in height can be attributed to our genetics, as you can see in the families that are shown here. It's important to know that whether someone is super tall, a little person, or somewhere in between, they are still just like you on the inside. Size does not determine how smart, how grown up, or how capable you are. Some other differences we might see are in how our bodies develop. There's a saying that when a baby is born, the doctor checks to make sure there are 10 fingers and 10 toes. But guess what? Sometimes there aren't. Sometimes babies are born with extra fingers or toes. Sometimes they are born without part of their arm or their legs. Sometimes they don't have any arms or legs. These limb reductions can be caused by different medications or chemicals that the baby is exposed to even before they're born. And sometimes there is no known reason. When we see these differences in people, should we stare at them or laugh or get worried? Not at all. No one likes that. Remember, we all need the same basic things in this world. We want to feel like we belong somewhere. If we're being singled out or stared at, it's hurtful. Here are some other things that change how we look on the outside. Vitiligo and psoriasis. These are autoimmune disorders, and that means that your immune system mistakes part of your body, like your joints or skin, as foreign. Another difference is albinism. This occurs with a genetic change in a person's melanin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin, eyes, and hair their coloring. Eczema is a condition that can also be related to genetics or someone's immune system, but also is affected by environment or stress. It results in itchy, rough skin. Here are some more skin differences that you may see or experience in your lifetime. Acne is something that many people experience as young as 11 years old, and for some people, into adulthood. It's related to hormonal changes in our bodies. We may also see people with scars on their bodies that are caused from surgeries, fires, accidents, or skin conditions. These differences are literally only skin deep. They don't change the external or internal beauty of the people that bear them. The last thing we'll talk about is differences in how our bodies move. When children learn to walk, it's because they have the strength they need in their core muscles, their belly and backs, and in their feet and legs to hold up their bodies and to move those muscles in a certain way. They also need something called motor planning, which is the ability for their brain to control those movements in a specific way for a period of time. Motor planning, muscle strength, and muscle flexibility are also needed in order to speak. Your tongue is a muscle, and your lips and jaws are controlled by muscles. When a person does not have good oral motor planning or strength, they may need to use alternate ways to communicate. They may need to point to pictures on a communication board, or even use their eyes to choose what they want to say on a communication device. That's called using an eye gaze. When people don't have the strength and motor control they need to walk independently, they need to use different ways to get around. People may use wheelchairs, walkers, or special crutches. They may use leg braces to give their leg muscles extra support. Some people may not have the ability to sit up straight in their seats, and they need to wear a harness to help support them. Some of these children may move their arms and jaws a lot in a way that might look strange to you, but it's not something that they can stop. These characteristics are often caused by a condition called cerebral palsy, or CP for short. But just because a person doesn't have control of their muscles doesn't mean they don't have control of their brains. As a matter of fact, there are some very famous people who have a variety of differences. Daniel Radcliffe, also known as Harry Potter, has a mild form of dyspraxia that affects movement and coordination. Stephen Hawking was a scientist, professor, and author who used a communication device that he activated by using his finger and later by activating a button with his cheek. So in your life, you will see many people who look different from you in many ways. The best way to handle that is to remember that we should treat others the way we want to be treated. No one likes to be stared at, laughed at, or to hear hurtful things. Before you say or do something, ask yourself, is this hurtful or helpful? If it's hurtful, stop yourself, walk away, or do something that is positive, like saying hello, giving a compliment, or including that person in a conversation. You have the power to change how people feel by what you say and what you do. Use that power for good.